And hey, Christmas just around the corner. Gosh, it is Advent starting this Sunday. Actually, it will be Christmas before we know it, and possibly an early Christmas present from the good people at the Reserve Bank. Ho, ho, ho. God bless you, everyone, they said, as they took the OCR and just tweaked it down a little bit. But hey, let's not unwrap our presents yet. Is this as good as it could have been? Well, joining me on the program now from Christian Savings, Dan Mazengarb. Dan, kia ora.
Kia ora, good morning, Andrew. Yes, I don't like the picture of Adrian all dressed up as Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Having kids on knees and giving them presents and
No.
But, it is a welcome relief for mortgage holders.
And look, this was highly predicted in terms of the actual cut to the OCR. It was where everybody thought it was going to go. No real surprises here? No.
No. And I think if they had dropped it any further, maybe people would think that they're panicking. So, look, I think it is in broad line with expectations. Interestingly, though, because I have a bit of a floating mortgage myself at the moment, I'm trying to decide when to fix it. But my bank hasn't yet dropped the rates after Wednesday. So we are waiting for them to have their meetings, their internal meetings.
Talking about bank reactions, at least one of the big Aussie banks, they jumped the gun on this one. They were so optimistic of a Merry Christmas for all that they dropped their rate before the OCR announcement. That's not like an Aussie bank, really, is it?
Well, the bank that I was thinking of, they were a bit higher than the others, so they were just really getting out of the line. But yeah. I mean, in the next 5 days, we'll see what their reaction is, and I think that will be good for people.
Now, as a mortgage holder with a floating mortgage rate, you are hoping for the best outcome for Christmas. But what's the timeline on this? When are we likely to see a reaction? I mean, from December onwards, everybody's in. Oh well, it's Christmas party time, and yeah. But hey, should we expect a result in December from the main banks?
Yeah, look, I think next week you could probably expect them to do their dance that they do. One bank goes first and takes the plunge, and then the others follow. So I think we will see that activity next week. So, that does give you a couple of weeks before Christmas just to, sort out what you're going to do and get that locked away.
Scramble and get it all locked on and then talk to mortgage broker, whatever you need to do, all that type of stuff. Just add that to your Christmas list.
Have a think about your fixing strategies. But next week, I think, it is the end of November though, isn't it? It's next week is December.
It is. Start opening advent calendars and decking the actual halls. Beyond the OCR though, some interesting forecast from the Reserve Bank, not just a Merry Christmas, but a Happy New Year. Things are going to continue to track this way. Another cut in February forecast.
Yeah, so and I was just looking at their August forecasts versus their November forecasts, and their forecasts are sharper. So we might get maybe 3 more consecutive 25 bips reductions. Who knows? But they are going to need to be dropping that OCR. I mean, it's at 4.25 now, but they need to get down to, I think, 3 over the next 12 months. So then, they'll be looking to drop that consistently next year, I would imagine.
Now, just put it in the framework, this is not a financial advice segment. Do not make financial decisions based on listening to me and Dan chat about this. However, speculatively, given that, we've had a cut before Christmas, but it looks like we might have another cut around February. If people are looking to lock it in, 6 months is looking better than 12 months. Just saying. That's what the numbers look like.
Yeah, although you pay a premium for that, and the banks know that, so their 6-month rates are a bit higher. So you have to be able to weather that cost and be confident that they will, in fact, drop it. But that's that's what their forecasts show. So they're pretty open with where they think it will go. So you can make some decisions based on that.
So they do the dance, then we do the dance, and everyone moves around. I mean, the Reserve Bank also looking at making some changes to the banking sector. Now, honestly, this is probably more your thing than my thing, Dan. I don't want to get lost in the weeds, but there's this good news on the horizon from your point of view, from Christian Savings' point of view.
Yeah, it's like banking, my banking career and my legal career all meshed into one. So it's
Wow.
very geeky, but they are overhauling the regulatory framework for banks and non-banks at the moment. And so this is something that is keeping us very, very busy because we are licensed with the Reserve Bank and we're going to have to relicense as part of the changes. And effectively, this came from the IMF's review of our banking system after the GFC and the collapse of a whole bunch of finance companies. So this is the long tail of that review. I think the headline good news for depositors, which is most of us because
Yep.
we've got money in bank accounts, is that from the 1st of July, there will be a guarantee scheme so that if any bank, small or large, were to go under, up to $100,000 of your deposits are guaranteed by a government-backed insurance pot that we all, as deposit takers, pay into. So that is good news for the resilience of our of our system
Yep.
and for people's confidence, especially if they are working with small entities, say like Christian Savings. Is it safe? Is it not? Well, from July, we'll be able to say, hey, at least you've got a backstop up to $100,000
Yep.
if we haven't gone under in 62 years and we're not planning to go under in the next 62 years. But there is a government guarantee behind it.
Government guarantee
as a whole.
Yeah. Putting government guarantee on top of all of your credibility and financial stewardship and all of that good stuff, indeed. Honestly, it is a little bit of a worry, though, isn't it? I mean, you're talking how long has it taken for this review to happen with the last big financial crash? I mean, some things move slowly, but light on the horizon, perhaps.
They do. And the full regime, the full impact of the act that was passed next year doesn't actually take effect until 2028. So whilst the compensation scheme comes in July next year, we've got a whole project to move everything in line to a deadline of 2028. So huge amount of work our end. I think overall, of course, it will cost us more, but it will be better for our depositors.
Yeah. And hey, if people wanted to find out more about what you offer in terms of the depositing space, christiansavings.co.nz. It sounds like it's been generally positive from the Reserve Bank, but also maybe the Grinch that steals Christmas because you've got so much work to get on with these new regulations, Dan. Yeah. But thank you for what you do at Christian Savings. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us today.
Kia ora.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.